Welcome, my name's Dr. Jason W. Morrison and I'm a theologist from New South Wales, Australia. Psychologists help people with themselves and other people, and theologists help people with themselves and God. Well, we did Romans chapter 8 and verse 1, therefore there is now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. And I want to make clear that walking according to the flesh means this: anything you think you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad is walking in the flesh. It's a law, it's a rule. And it are these mindsets that provoke sin, our sinful nature in us. So, there is no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, full stop. But this part where it says you do not walk according to the flesh is critical, because it's not sin in itself, it's what leads to sin. Walking according to the flesh, and I will say it again and I'll continue to say it, is anything we think we need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad. That is walking in the flesh, because it will inevitably, whether we're conscious of it or not, lead us to trouble, bad behavior, ultimately, in one word, sin. And then he says, but walk according to the Spirit, which we'll get on to that. Walking according to the Spirit actually is believing in Christ's finished work, accepting it, and then getting on with your life. Verse 2. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. And there's confirmation of what I just said. See, on the one hand, you have the law of sin and death, and on the other hand, you have the law of the Spirit of life in Christ. And I'm going to repeat what both of them are. The negative first on the left hand. The law of sin and death is this, quite simply. The law of sin and death is this: anything we think we need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad is a law. It's a mindset, and it will lead to sin and death. So what do you think you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad? Outside of what Jesus did, outside of the finished work of Christ. I'm asking you, what do you think you need to do? Because it's going to lead to sin and death. That is where most of the problem in religious organizations and Christians personally is coming from. There is something they think they need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad, and it's leading to sin and death. This is where 99% of religious problems come from, and personal problems as well. And then on the other hand, the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus is simply believing that Jesus died on the cross, was buried and rose again, accepting that, and then getting on with your life, not worrying about whether there's any more issues to be resolved between yourself and God, but accepting that what Jesus did on the cross was enough to reconcile you to God and to extinguish your issues between yourself and God. Verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. You see, the law could not help humankind. It could give them an outline of what God expected and what was best for us, but our sinful nature will not allow us to keep it or fulfill it. But Jesus did. And then the second verse part of verse 3 says, God did, see what we couldn't do, God did by sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh on account of sin. He condemned sin in his body. That's verse 3 completed. See you in the next talk. Bye for now. Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison Theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.